Hi, my name is Colette Rabba, and I'm with Orion Realty. I'm a residential real estate broker in the GTA West, an income property specialist, and an investor myself. The reason why Araceli and I like to do this show is because we're both investors and we love to give great information to viewers and listeners just like you.
Welcome, everyone. This is Araceli, Transition Wealth Advisor and US and Canada real estate investor. And I'm here with my partner, Colette. We're going to have an interesting chat. Hi, Colette.
I actually get to interview you today, so I'm really excited about that. But just let me tell you who I am, because I'm not a person that is an interviewing expert. But because Araceli is my friend, and because we're here, and I just found out something about her that I'm like, oh my gosh, you should totally. I'm going to interview you today. So my name is Colette Rabba. I am a real estate broker in the GTA. And Araceli and I always love to do this show because we want to give you guys out there really good advice and really good guidance when you're ready to either buy a house or have financial freedom, or to put your money away into something that you know will grow, and you know that Araceli will point you in the right direction. So let's get started. Are you ready?
All right.
Okay, so let's see. We all know that what you do. You're a financial advisor, and I know. See, maybe I should say what I know about you.
Okay. You can say that, and then I can tell you what you don't know about me.
Okay, good. So, but I'll ask you questions just so, because I don't know what I don't know. But so what I love about Araceli is that she invests. Like, we actually we got to meet each other, and I learned about her real estate investing in the US, and I thought that was just fantastic. I really like that about her. I thought you were brilliant the first time I met you, even from like years and years ago. I'm like, oh my gosh, this girl knows her stuff. I really want to get to know her more. But I don't know a lot of personal things about you. I know you're living with a very handsome man.
Thank you.
But that was after a divorce, and that's how you became a financial advisor. Am I right so far?
Yeah.
Sort of. But this is years and years, right?
Yeah.
So
I worked corporate, then I became an advisor, then I started investing in real estate, and then I met my current partner.
But not only was she in corporate, she was an engineer, a mechanical engineer. So this girl has brains. So that I knew that from before. But I want to know about who is Araceli personally. I know you, but not everybody else knows you out there. But I just want to know, like, things about you personally. Like, I know why you got into the business. You want to help, especially women, have this financial freedom, this financial power of knowing about their financing. Just that alone.
Yeah.
But how did you think this was a pivot for you when you were an engineer?
Well, there was actually a few things that happened in my life, right? And I'm going to tell you a little bit about me before that. And I've always been an overachiever. I always very good in school. And when I was in university, actually before that, I started dancing ballet. And my life was that. I used to go to university, go to my ballet classes 6 days a week. I was prima ballerina, by the way.
I would love to see a picture of that one day if you have pictures.
Exactly. And I loved it. So as you can see, I did two activities that they were you needed a lot of power in different ways, right?
Focus. You need to focus. There's two very different things too. Dance is very different than going to school and learning, right?
Oh,
but
yeah,
then how do you
totally
focus on two things at once?
And that was my whole life. And actually, I did have enough time to have a boyfriend, which unfortunately had to leave after because I came to Canada. So, but it was kind of like the love of my life, and it just didn't work out that way.
Wow.
But, so after that, when I came here, then my whole focus was to get my career on track, because I finished university as a mechanical engineer, and I ended up working a couple of technical jobs before I got my PH, which is the license in Ontario to be an engineer. And then I went to work for an aerospace company, which I worked most of my career. So as you can see, it's quite a different, and every time that you change like fields, it's a whole learning curve. And I remember the first time that I started to look at some of the prints, the blueprints of a landing gear, because that was my specialty. And I looked at it. The first time I said, oh my goodness, I have no idea what I'm going to do, because previously I've been working in another technical job, which it was more automotive, right? Had nothing to do with landing gear. Completely different job. So it took me a while, but it was very, very interesting and challenging, that's what I love to do, right? I always like to do different things, figuring out things. That's kind of what engineers do, right? But everything was going well until you get to a point in your career. And I think it happens to everybody that works in corporate, depending on what your field is, but you will always get to a glass ceiling. That's it. You can't go anywhere. And as a woman in engineering, there's not that many still. I think more and more women are starting to get into engineering, which is great. But it has always been that ratio, very small number of women to men. Yeah. And then there was basically two things that happened in my life, and they happened at the same time. And I think that's what made me pivot, right? The first one is I got divorced. So my relationship failed. And then when I was in corporate, I was kind of ready to move on, and I was passed on for a big promotion, right? To somebody that, let's just say, was not really that qualified.
Was it a man?
Yes.
Say no more. Okay.
So that was kind of like an awakening for me, because I said, I know what he knows and I know what I know, right? And this was not right. So I felt that, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people kind of get to that point, but there's only so many positions at the top, right? Yeah. And because mostly of my breakdown in my relationship, I said, I have to look for other ways to move on with something that I can control, right? Right. And because my lack of financial literacy, basically I said, I gotta learn how to secure my future, because I never knew that I was going to meet somebody or not. Right. So that kind of triggered me that change. And believe me, it was a huge change, because it's a totally different industry. An engineer mind has nothing to do with a salesperson, because advisors are salespeople, just like realtors, mortgage brokers, anybody else. I think that is a huge skill. Believe me, if I could go back to start my career, I would have gone back to sales and business, right? Really? Absolutely. Instead of doing engineering.
Wow, interesting. Okay. Yeah, so that's the thing. Like you're either born with, being a salesperson, or honestly, you can learn how to be a salesperson.
Yeah, definitely. Anything can be learned.
Yeah, but it's different when it's in your blood. Like you have to do it. Yeah. So I think that's what you're like. I think both of us are like that, but in our turn, like the way we like to sell is with service. And I think we're both very similar in that respect, where I know, really real estate agents are called salespeople. That's what we're technically supposed to call ourselves. And I never felt like this is not just a sales position. This is a service position. People want information. They want advice. They want guidance. That's not sales. Yeah, here's a house. Here, buy it. The end. It's way beyond that. Same with you.
That is professional education that you give your clients to you help them make a decision.
Right.
A decision for them.
Right.
And that's
so it's not
what
just
it
sales.
is.
Yeah. And
I found that out. And really that journey is being really, I have learned so much about different things, about people, about what really sales are, the different type of salespeople that are out there, how you can become better. And just by learning about people and helping them, it just completely changes everything.
Yeah. But I think at the same time too, I want to deal with someone. I want you to help me, because I trust you. I know you're smart. I know you know your stuff.
Thank you.
So to really, and this is the thing too with financial advisors and with real estate agents, people know how many agents, to say, oh, it's my cousin is going to be my sales representative, whatever. But they have no clue that this is highly specialized business that you have to look out. There's compliance. There's so many other things. And that's why our businesses are similar in that respect, where we want to guide you based on what you want, not based on what I want. Or like, I have clients that say, would you live here? I'm like, it doesn't matter if I live here. You have to live here. Yeah, so same thing. I'm sure people say, would you invest in that? And you have to walk the walk. If you say, yes, of course I would invest in this. This is a great product. Why would I tell you? So this is the reassurance of liking the person and trusting them before you work with them. And I see that in you. So that's why I recommend you. And I like to say, but I want to know what makes you tick. Like, why did you get into this business from, you had a good career, you had this thing. Why find it, why?
Well, first of all, because of my own ignorance, right? I didn't know that. And I wanted to, when everything fell down and we lost the house, I was in debt because I heard half of it. My ex-husband wasn't a spender.
So you're talking about losing the house when you, instead of keeping it and trying to figure out how do you keep it,
because
you separated and sold.
You are at a stage that said, you know what, forget it. I can always get another house, but that's not the case, right?
No,
the moral of the story is never lose a house if you can.
Don't ever sell. I know. I'm a terrible salesperson because I tell everybody don't sell.
And I wish, you know what? I wish that my realtor was you when I sold my house, because the guys, it was just an order ticket. Do you want to sell it? Oh, no problem.
Right.
I can sell
that's the problem. And I think that's the problem in both our industries, where there are those types, and what you were saying earlier about saying there are different types of salespeople. And how do you pick someone to say, okay, this is in my best interest, and I'm going to give you options. I'm not going to just say, here you go, put the sign up on the door. But I will say, have you looked at this? Have you tried that? You can negotiate with your ex to say, I'll keep it, but I'll give you a monthly payment, da-da-da-da-da.
Exactly. There's always a way.
Right.
But the thing is, normally when you are going through a big transition like that, you're not thinking rationally. This is the thing. And
it's so emotional.
You have somebody to help you with it, right?
Yeah.
And that's what now I provide for people, and you also provide for people, because I've seen you, sometimes you say, don't sell the house, which is kind of counterproductive for you.
Well, I don't make any money. Right. I don't make money from saying don't sell.
I have somebody that has certain financial products. I'm not the one to say, hey, I'm going to replace your insurance. I know I could probably say that, but I don't do that because that's not in their best interest. And I'd rather make $20 than try to make $1,000, and I never have a good client, right?
Well, and that's the key, to make sure that clients understand that, to say, look, even though I'm not asking you to go and do this and do that, but I want you to refer me to someone that you understand how I work, and I won't point them in the wrong direction just to make a sale. Yeah. I think that's huge in our business, and I think there's so many people in both our businesses. Yeah. There are so many people out there that are really desperate, that they just want to make this sale, that they're thinking about themselves before their clients.
Exactly, and that's not exactly what this is. It's, you have to educate people, and as you said it before, it's not about what I could have or where I could live. It's what the other person wants. In some cases, a lot of times that I have this a lot is people are in huge debt. To me, helping them get out of debt doesn't pay me anything, right? But I do it because it's part of the service. And if you have huge debt and I can help you rework that, then you'll have a little bit more money to invest in other products like investments or insurance, right?
Absolutely. There's always a way.
Win-win, right? It's always try to make it a win-win, but at the same time, there's certain things that other advisors wouldn't do because it doesn't pay any money, right?
That's right. I know, and that's the hard part. That's what we're trying to get across here. That even the show, if you watch the show and you pick up a little tip here and there, this is why we do it. We're actually genuinely wanting to help And never mind if you ever come back. Of course we want to help you. Of course we want to make money. We have to feed our families too. But at the same time, this is the difference in our focus, in our overall kind of, why are we here? Why are we doing what we love to do? We love to have people happy and smiling and saying, thank you, you saved me a lot of money.
Yeah.
By doing this or by doing that. It's all
really, that's what makes me tick. Like, I'd rather have a client forever.
Yes.
Right? That they're
and they'll pick up the
services.
Phone. Right. And they'll say, Araceli, I need to get you to talk to my sister, brother, cousin, blah, 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 whatever. And that's how we make our money. Most of my business too is by referral and repeat clients.
Yeah.
So this is the thing that people in the industry, or maybe people that don't know our specific industries, where you have to ask that question when you interview us, like, why do you hire me? Why do you hire Araceli? You ask those questions. How much is your business's repeat?
Yeah.
Because if somebody likes you, they'll continue to use you and refer you.
For sure. Yeah, absolutely. And that is way better than trying to just get sales everywhere.
Right. The hamster wheel. The hamster wheel.
And then you don't build in a relationships. Of course, this way is a little bit slower, but it's better in my opinion in the long term. Okay,
so I'm going to change the subject because the one thing that I remember about you is that you're an excellent cook. You're an amazing cook.
I am.
Yeah, you are. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Well,
we sure it's me.
Yeah, it was you. I think you're a great cook. Oh my gosh. No, are you kidding? Like, I gobbled that.
No. I don't cook. I bake. So I gave you some cookies that you really like.
Yeah, but you also, when we were at the cottage together, you cooked a couple meals, and I'm like, oh my god, this is awesome. And they're not. But okay, maybe I'm pretty easygoing. Like, anybody who cooks for me, I'm like, oh my god, this is good. But you're really good. You're a good cook. Don't discount yourself.
Well, I might be good, but it's not something that I really enjoy that much.
Okay. So what do you enjoy doing? Tell me on your spare time.
I rather clean the house than cook.
Come over.
I know.
We can live together. I'll cook for you. I hate cleaning.
Oh, perfect combination. Right?
Okay. So what do you do for fun?
Well, I love to go dancing. Like, I love salsa dancing.
But
so right now, in the last 2 years, I just dance here with myself, right?
I have a girlfriend who's a dancer too. She likes bachata, and she keeps trying to take me, and I'm like, no.
It's a lot of fun. It's just a lot of fun.
I'm going to set you guys up.
That's something that I really like doing, right? I also play pool. I love playing pool, and the same thing, because all of these are social activities. It's like, okay.
I know, but it's been kind of shitty. Like, we just haven't been able to go and do that stuff.
I know.
I want a pool table so badly, but what I want is an outdoor pool table.
Okay.
Why not? Why can't I have an outdoor pool? They make them out of like concrete, I think.
Yeah, but it's not the same.
I know.
Sorry, I played for a long time and it's not the same. So
you know what? I'll sell my dining room furniture and I'll put a pool table.
Yeah, that's what I like.
I can do that. Yeah, I can totally do that.
But I'm gonna give you some relationship advice, okay?
Because tell me, please.
I know that you recently divorced, and when I divorced, I thought that maybe in the next couple of years I can find someone, right? And it took me actually 2 years before I actually started dating, right? Or looking for someone, because I really just didn't want to.
Yeah, a divorce is like a whole like a part-time job. Like, you have to get through it. It might take you 6 months. It might take you 6 years. Like, nobody knows. It depends on how amicable you are.
2 years to get out of that mode, right?
Right.
And when I started dating, like, my dating situation is, as you know, like, now it's everything online, and my goodness, I can tell you story after story about the people that I met, and it was like, this is not going to go anywhere. But there was 14 years, right? 14 years that I spent,
of being single?
That I was single after my divorce.
Really?
Yeah, 14 years. And then one day, actually at the beginning of 2017, and this is when I started doing my business in the States, right? So I started actually the end of 2016, so 2017 at the beginning, and I have a business partner and he's a male.
Yeah.
And he's also single, and he was dating also, right? And he said, "Oh, why don't you go and keep dating, and maybe we can get, you know, a partner each, right?" And I said, "Well, it's not really like," I said, "That's it. I had enough, right?"
Okay.
So I took all my profiles down from. I think I had 2 profiles in 2 different sites for online, and I says, "You know what? I think we should concentrate on getting the houses, flipping houses and everything." And I said, "You know, I think I have my plate full right now." That's it. I just left it. And in June of 2017, a friend of mine that I haven't talked to him in a while, he says, "Do you want to go out?" And it says, I just met a friend, my girlfriend is coming, but you know, he doesn't have a date. And I'm going, there again, another blind date. I don't want to, right?
Yeah.
And I said, "Well, it's a night out. We're going to dance.
Yeah,
I like this. Why not?" Right? So I remember saying to my business partner, it says, if somebody wants me really, they have to come and knock on my door. Like, that's it. I just kind of had enough.
Yeah, I'm not chasing anybody. Exactly. That's my motto for the last 2 years, actually.
Yeah, and he literally came to knock on my door. Really.
Oh, that's so wonderful. And it's somebody that you wouldn't normally date.
No.
Like you would. And that's the bad thing about, you know, sorry to take it off topic, but that's the bad thing about, you know, this easy way, like you just sit there and you swipe because you don't like whatever, the hat they're wearing, or, you know, they're not tall enough.
He had been online on the same apps that I have. I have never seen him on the app. We were never a match there, right?
Interesting, very interesting.
When he came to my door, I was going like, okay, who is this guy, right? And I honestly, you know, secret, I didn't think that he was, I thought he was a player, right?
Oh.
Just because he's a bodybuilder.
No way.
Yeah.
No,
So he's a bodybuilder, really tall.
Yeah, he's fit.
Right?
He's good looking.
And I said, this guy's a player, right? So I said, you know, a night out is fine.
Yeah, for sure.
Whatever. So 2 weeks later, he calls me, and I said, this guy's not going to call me at all. And he calls me 2 weeks later, says, "Oh, I've been asking for your phone number, and I just got it today."
Poor guy. Oh,
yeah.
that's so
and so he ended up being the sweetest guy that I've ever met, and we just started going out, and we just stayed together after that. So
yeah, no, and that's wonderful. Like, that's the thing that. Thank you very much for saying that, because it gives me hope, even though I haven't been separated for that long. But over COVID, it's almost like this harder process now too, because now that, you know, restrictions are being lifted, now you can actually have a coffee and look at people in the eye and, you know, see their face and see if they have teeth. Like, that's
exactly
a lot of guys, and that's the weird thing
it's
too.
The bonus is they have teeth, right?
Well, oh my God, really? Is that my level of, like, I'll accept you if you have only one missing tooth? Like, depending on where it is. But that's, you know, joking aside, it's almost like this kind of fake world that we've been living in the last 2 years, where everything is online, and it's not just dating, but it's everything. It's also networking and meeting clients and knowing how much money they actually have to use your services. Yeah. So there is a process no matter what, but learning how to meet people, I mean, it's
an art. I'm telling you, it is an art. But for all those ladies out there that are single, I think if you let it go and let it happen naturally, it will happen.
And I think, you know, I don't know, this is not the same story for you, but I think if you have an idea of the type of person you want, not physical specific like that, but I want somebody who's kind, someone who is a hard worker. Yeah, I can see my life and their life.
You know what? It's about companionship, and I really learned in my previous marriage what I didn't want, right? And if you know that you don't want those traits, what you want instead.
Right.
And that's it, right? So that's what it comes down to it, because nobody is perfect, but you can find somebody that is perfect for you.
I agree. That's very sweet. Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
always
that's
the
really
case.
nice.
So is that all your questions? I think.
Yeah, I think so. Do you want me to ask you something else? I don't know. We're running out of time. Do you want
No,
to?
I think that's pretty much it. Like we
Yeah.
have to
Okay,
be
but
here
I have one question.
Okay.
Does he like dancing?
He does. Not as much as I do, but he does like dancing.
He will dance with you though.
Yeah.
Like at
Oh,
least
yeah.
you have a
Yeah.
Okay, that's my last question. So that's good because if you find someone that you really like and at least you have something in common. You don't have to have everything in common. I know he likes fishing. You probably don't like fishing very much, so you don't have to like everything.
You don't have to like everything, right? If I only could change one thing about him, it's if he could be a salsa dancer, he would be the perfect guy for me.
Okay, you have to watch. He has to watch the show after.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, thank you. That was wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Colette.
I learned something a little bit more about you.
Yeah, there
I
you
loved
go.
you already, but now I love you even more.
Oh, thank you. Well, I love you too. So we'll see you in the next episode. Thank you for watching.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks for joining us today. If you'd like more information or if you have any questions, please go to my website at www.coletterabba.com.